Hello, I'm Davia Chambers and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in the heart of Scarborough. This building is the financial hub of the THA. It houses all the departments and units under the Division of Finance and Enterprise Development. This is where a lot of locally grown businesses get their start. This building was named after distinguished son of Tobago soil, Victor Edward Bruce. He was born in 1920 in Lekoto and was the first local to become governor of the central bank from 1969 to 1984. A past student of Bishop's High School Tobago and the London School of Economics in the UK, Mr. Bruce was appointed Commissioner of Tobago Affairs in 1964. He was entrusted with the administrative responsibility of rehabilitating Tobago after the devastating effects of Hurricane Flora in 1963. We'll tell you more, but first, let's tell you what's happening in our stories this week. The Tobago House of Assembly reassures the local and international public that the island is one of the safest places to visit in the region and that all efforts are being made to solve last week's double murder. We joined the Safe City initiative to help prevent crime during the Christmas season, and Tobago gets a bumper season of cruise ship passenger arrivals.
A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. Teach children how to escape on their own in case you can't help them. Close doors behind you as you leave. If the smoke alarm sounds, get out and stay out. Never go back inside. If you have to escape through smoke, get low and go under the smoke to your way out. Call the fire service from outside your home. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough. This building has 4 floors with a penthouse at the top and a panoramic view of the town. When this building was opened in 2012, this commemorative stone was laid in the honor of Hummingbird Medal awardee and Trinity Cross holder, the late Victor E. Bruce. This building is one of the largest and newest in the capital. It represents more than just the island's excellent Baa1 financial rating, and it's a symbol of the kind of modernization which the THA is bringing to the island. Let's switch gears for a bit to find out how security on the island is being beefed up and how the police and the THA are dealing with the deaths of a German couple. Solving the recent murder of Hubertus and Bridget Keel is now high priority on the island. However, Chief Secretary Orville London says the tragic incident should not overshadow the advancements made by Tobago Police over the last few years. Lois Vincent has more details.
Condolences, concern and condemnation was the tone of a press briefing held by officials of the Tobago House of Assembly, National Security, Ministry of Tourism and representatives of the Tobago tourism sector in response to the murder of the German couple Hubertus and Bridget Keel last week. The briefing was held to assure the national and international public that the incident has become a top priority for the country's police. Acting Commissioner of Police Stephen Williams gave details.
I have assigned the Assistant Commissioner with responsibility for homicide investigations in Trinidad and Tobago to lead this investigation in Tobago. He's at present in Tobago, working with a team, including the second in command in Trinidad, who is also assigned to work on this investigation.
Chief Secretary of London, who expressed concern over the incident, says safety on the island should be viewed analytically.
Crimes against tourists have been decreased by 69% over the past year. And in fact, the crime situation in Tobago is at its lowest rate for maybe a decade. So that one has to deal with this thing in a balanced manner. You have to understand that it is something serious.
The Chief Secretary says that even more steps will be taken to keep the island safe for visitors and locals.
Tobago has 187 CCTV cameras for over 116 square miles with a population of 60,000 people. I do not know if there is a geographical area in the world that is better positioned with respect to CCTV cameras than Tobago. And we're going to be putting more.
A reward of $100,000 had been offered for information, leading to the arrest and conviction of anyone responsible for the crime.
Crime Stoppers has, based on what information I got from Mr. James, has offered $100,000, and the various entities, let me put it like that, will be looking to see whether they would not want to up that ante, within the next week or so.
The island will also get its fair share of newly recruited police officers that are due to graduate on December 15th, and a batch of Special Reserve Police officers that will also complete training in December. I'm Lois Vincent for Let's Talk Tobago.
As you heard, crime is declining in Tobago, but the public can do more to prevent it. And one way this can happen is through the Safe City initiative, which this island has joined for the Christmas season. Let's hear how the police is working closer with the public so that we can all enjoy a more peaceful and hopefully a crime-free season.
There is no doubt that during the Christmas season, people shop till they drop. But although it is a merry time, people take the opportunity to commit crime. So, to ensure that citizens feel safe while carrying out their Christmas duties, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has launched a Safe City initiative.
Launching of a Safe City initiative is not merely about the launch. It's about finding ways and means of improving the policing of communities, cities, boroughs, and towns. And as it relates to Tobago, what you should see following the launch is clearly heightened visible police presence, especially in Scarborough and the surrounding communities.
Even though there is the Safe City initiative for the period, the TTPS says the public must also do their part.
The police will be outside there. You're going to pull you aside because you're going to be swaying on the road, and somebody's going to tell you to blow. You don't want to embarrass yourself, embarrass your loved one, and most importantly, cause havoc on our nation's roadway.
This additional initiative is vital for Tobago as it deals with safety and security for all on this island.
There is also the obvious reality that crime in Tobago is maybe even more important for the survival and development of the island than it is in any other part of the country because of our link with tourism. And therefore, it is not just the numbers, but it's also about the incidents.
The police service says when shopping, avoid walking with large quantities of money or excessive jewelry. Hold your handbag close to your body. The handbag is a favorite target for snatch and grab offenses. Avoid having purchases and other valuables exposed in parked vehicles at malls, car parks, and on the streets. Avoid answering your cell phone in crowded areas, as it may distract you and present an opportunity for robbery to occur. In crowded areas, be aware of any unusual or persistent body contact. I am Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
Good news for tourism on the island, as cruise ship passenger arrivals is set to surpass all expectations for this winter season. The towering luxury liners are now a regular part of the Scarborough skyline, and all early indicators point to record arrivals. This month's maiden voyage of the German cruise line TUI Mein Schiff 1 brought 1,924 new visitors to the island. Keyshawn Wilson does the math for us in this report.
The first of many calls for the 2014-2015 cruise ship season, the Mein Schiff 1, is scheduled to grace our shores each fortnight with close to 2,000 new visitors on each trip for the winter season. Samuel Henry, Transportation Coordinator with the Division of Tourism and Transportation, says that this is only the tip of the iceberg. The division has exceeded its goals for cruise ship visitors this season.
We had targeted 50,000 cruise passengers or cruise visitors to Tobago during the 2014-2015 cruise season. And it's good to know that we have surpassed that number, and we are looking at over 60,000 guests coming to the island on cruise ships this season.
Mr. Henry went on to explain the time and effort that went into attracting new luxury cruise lines like the TUI Mein Schiff 1 to Tobago.
TUI Mein Schiff 1 is a German-based ship. As I said before, this is one of the results of the calls that we made. We met with TUI in Germany some years ago. We met with them last year again. And as a result of the discussions held, we see 3-man ship 1 coming to Tobago this year.
Mr. Henry also did the math for us. He said that each cruise ship visitor spends an average of US $25. Now, with 60,000 scheduled cruise ship visitors coming to Tobago, we can look forward to a revenue of about $9 million. This, combined with the return of Virgin Airlines, will see a big boost for Tobago tourism this winter season. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take a break, but stay with us because on the other side, we'll tell you how the doctors at Scarborough Hospital's maternity ward have great outcomes from challenging situations. Thank you for staying with us at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough. We're in the office of the Secretary for Finance, Assemblyman Joel Jack. The vision of this division is to achieve excellence in financial activities, entrepreneurial development, and enforce the law with regards to revenue collection. The 8 units in this division are at the core of entrepreneur development and growth. They offer loans, grants, mentoring, financial literacy through the Business Development Unit, the Financial Literacy Secretariat, the Venture Capital Funding Office, and the Consumer Affairs Unit, among others. In our next story, we hear about the difficult business of challenging pregnancies with positive outcomes at the Scarborough General Hospital. The hospital has come under some scrutiny after a mother and baby passed away. This was a rare occurrence and the first maternal death in nearly 3 decades at the hospital. Omodara Mills visited the hospital to meet with doctors and a mother with a high-risk pregnancy with a happy ending.
This is 6-day-old Kevin Clinton Jr. or Casey. He was born at the Scarborough General Hospital to Summer George. But Summer's case is not straightforward. It's high risk. Although this is her 4th child, she's had 2 previous miscarriages and she developed diabetes while pregnant with baby Casey.
I was a big baby on the ward, as normal, but it has been really, at times it has been tough and they'll come and talk to me and they assured me that don't worry, everything will be okay. I'm here for a reason to make sure the baby's all right and for my well-being also, to be healthy. So I was always thankful that they were always so kind.
Summer also had to be admitted to the hospital for about a month before delivery to allow the doctors to monitor her condition and ensure that she had a safe delivery.
In view of the complications, Summer had 2 choices, right? Whether to go through labor and we intensify our monitoring or have elective cesarean section. Summer, after counseling, chose elective cesarean section and she had a successful cesarean section and delivery.
The surgeon who performed Summer's surgery, Dr. Judlyn Bailey, says that it comes down to building an excellent doctor-patient relationship.
We work hard to develop that trust that the patient would have in us as a doctor. So when it comes down to making that final decision, it's theirs to make, but we are responsible for number 1, giving them the option so that they know there is an option, and number 2, giving them the risks and benefits of one versus the other.
And as Summer begins this new chapter in motherhood, she's grateful to the maternity staff for allowing her to go home with another bundle of joy. Summer can also access proper postnatal services at the island's health centers. This is provided by the Tobago Regional Health Authority under the Division of Health and Social Services. Expecting moms can also utilize the antenatal services. I'm Omodara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now for a different kind of delivery, as the Division of Community Development and Culture commissioned the latest multipurpose facility on the island. It adds to the development of an area which is already a desirable residential and commercial location. The new facility is located in the communities of Hampden, Lowlands, Auchenskill. As you'll hear in this report, excited residents have much in store for the facility.
After more than 10 years without a place to convene all community activities, residents of Hampden, Lowlands and Auchenskill now have an $8 million multi-purpose community facility.
It started with letters being written to landowners in the community requesting land to build a center. Some did not respond at all. Others had no available land, and yet others had land that was not affordable. Fortunately for us, the Chief Secretary attended one of our regular monthly meetings.
And that was the beginning. Land was given for the construction of a community center in the area. It started in 2011, and today the space includes an auditorium with seating capacity for 300 people, a computer room, an audio-visual room, and a workshop room.
This multipurpose facility is not a showpiece. It is to be utilized and maintained by us, the residents. So I urge you to become members of the council and come let us work together for the benefit of our Hampden, Lowlands, Auchenskill community.
And that's a bid taken up by this resident already.
We are proud of our community and its development, and this multipurpose facility will certainly be a worthwhile asset in fostering community bonding.
The facility was commissioned by the Secretary and Assistant Secretary of Community Development and Culture and Chief Secretary over London. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
And more good news for Tobago's tourism as a European magazine picks this island as a top destination. It's not the first time Tobago is recommended to international travelers by a top magazine. The latest accolade comes from Sweden's top travel publication. The island's cuisine, picturesque villages, pristine beaches and warmth, wait for it, is the top destination for 2014. Let's hear some details from a Swede.
A top Swedish travel magazine has listed Tobago as its #1 destination. As the Apollo resumes its winter flights from Sweden, this comes as more good news for this island's tourism sector. The largest travel magazine, Globetrotter, has listed Tobago as the top destination for 2014.
The Swedish travel magazine called Globetrotter has nominated or selected Tobago as the tourist destination of Sweden for this year in tough competition with many other places around the world. So Tobago is considered the most interesting and fascinating tourist destination in the world.
And the Chief Secretary over London sees it as a major accomplishment since
for them to select Tobago as the best in the world, I think we as Tobagonians have got to appreciate the significance of that, and most importantly ensure that we continue to earn that title.
The latest accolade can only mean well for this island's tourism sector, which has been rebranded and has been engaging in aggressive marketing campaigns internationally.
I think this has made a very significant impact on Tobago's tourism thrust and the improvement, and in fact might have signaled, the upturn in the tourism sector.
The announcement was made at a courtesy call with the Chief Secretary over London and His Excellency Klaus Hammer. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking another break, but coming up, ideas to sustain wild meat production during the closed hunting period.
Small bites equal major consequences. Protect yourself and your loved ones from mosquito-transmitted diseases such as dengue and chikungunya. Take these simple steps. Empty and clean water storage vessels and flower pots, saucers regularly. Clear gutter and nearby bush which may harbor mosquitoes. Install mosquito screens on windows and at other entry points. Use mosquito nets, repellents, and wear long-sleeved clothing. Take action now. Small bites equal major consequences. A message from the Public Health Department. Telephone number 639-5294 or 639-1433.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Let's Talk Tobago, and today we're at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough. We're in the District Revenue Unit where taxes, fees, licenses, and rents are paid. But in addition to that, civil weddings are facilitated in this cozy spot called the Marriage Room. So if you're considering a simple wedding ceremony, this could be an option. We jump from a wedding to food. Trimbagonians love their wild meat all year round, and it's always a temptation to hunt in the closed season. The delicate balance between conservation and demand for wild meat is a challenge, so one option seems to be wildlife farming. We hear what the experts and farmers recommend in this next story.
Wildlife farming in Tobago? Well, this could be an option to protect endangered species and turn the animals into an economic asset for this island. The idea was brought forward at a workshop held for wildlife hunters, farmers and conservationists by the Department of Natural Resources and the Environment at the International Congress on the Management of Amazonial and Latin American Wildlife.
Nothing is a pest. Everything is an asset. For example, the thing that we detest about animals the most is the one thing that an animal produces every day, including ourselves: waste. We call it manure. Even human manure is called night soil. It's used to fertilize vegetables in Southeast Asia. But that waste that comes from animals every day is helping to improve the cycle of life.
He says the commercialization of pests like the agouti and the coquelicot can be carried out through a production scheme similar to the one utilized for chickens. But first, several studies must be carried out.
The animals that we consider as pests, which are our natural resources, namely the coquelicot, the agouti, what we have to do now is better understand them and convert them into assets. And this is what I want us to focus on.
Understanding the advantages of these animals, considered as pests, is timely and critical for Tobago.
It is hoped that at the end of these training sessions, we will be able to effectively manage, conserve, and maintain the wildlife industry in Tobago.
This is the first launch of wildlife workshops on the island, and the division is working on implementing courses once every quarter to fully develop a wildlife farming industry. I'm Lois Vincent for Let's Talk Tobago.
We now turn our attention to THA's drive to reduce the public's dependency on government by creating more entrepreneurs. Tobago's comprehensive economic development plan aims to diversify this economy. One way it's doing this is by helping to create about 50 new businesses per financial year. Well, one program in Tobago has surpassed that number, and they recently distributed even more funds to small business owners. Here's the story of that program and its reach.
Tobago has over 40 new entrepreneurs, from restaurant owners to beauticians, and they are equipped with the necessary funding to jumpstart their businesses from the Realization of Economic Achievement or REACH program.
This symbolizes the dawning of a new day for you, the recipients gathered here. The REACH unit, in its bid to remain relevant to the development of the people of Tobago, had ascribed to itself, of course, targets to ensure that the overall goals of our division and the Tobago House of Assembly have been attained.
Since it won't be easy, Mr. Nances had this advice for all the business owners.
As the eyes of others seeking to be where you sit are upon you. Most of you would have journeyed long and hard, whilst some are still journeying. But I say to all of you, the race, of course, is not for the swiftest. You are now here, and where you go from here lie in your own hands and minds. The challenges will come, but with the help of the REACH program, when they burst upon your shores, you will be ready to confront them.
And that's not all. The entrepreneurs here will be closely monitored by officers in the program to ensure their various businesses are up and running.
The REACH unit has sought to train persons within its database, which would include persons who would have received funding
as well as those who did not, by virtue ensuring that no Tobagonian is left behind. We continue to monitor and evaluate those who are in business.
The REACH program was established in 2005 and has distributed over $400,000 for this financial year alone. They're hoping to fund over 100 additional entrepreneurs in a few months. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
Operation Raw. Sounds like some secret agent spy movie. Actually, it's the furthest thing from the glamour of Hollywood. It's the project named one youth-based NGO adopted for its cleanup campaign. They believe having a clean community is most important. With cleaner communities, environmental problems like flooding would be a thing of the past. But let's face it, a healthier living environment benefits all of us. Here's the story behind Operation Raw.
With the threat of the mosquito-borne chikungunya virus, many government and non-governmental agencies have been embarking on cleanup campaigns. The Roxborough Police Youth Club is one such NGO. They held their second annual Operation RAW, which means Remove All Waste.
This initiative is geared towards cleaning up Roxborough and environs to try to get rid of the mosquitoes, because we know chikungunya and dengue fever, it is very prevalent. These are just members of the youth club and parents that are here today.
Ms. Stewart says this movement is part of the club's mandate to uplift the community in all possible ways.
This is our hometown, this is our environment. So we are trying to clean up around our environment first before we launch out to other communities, but we are embarking on going to other communities.
This cleanup campaign correlates with that of the Division of Health and Social Services. The division has been on a mosquito eradication campaign with a white waste island-wide collection and mosquito spraying exercises. I am Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have your say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. As you probably already know, the THA celebrates its 34th birthday this week on December 4th, Assembly Day. The THA's rich history dates back to 1768, making it the oldest political institution in our country. The modern-day THA came about as a result of the work of the island's founding fathers, James Bigart, APT James, and Arthur N.R. Robinson. So we asked you, what does Assembly Day mean to you? This is what you said.
We need to know more, it needs to give a better impact. It had to be more enlightened, let people know about it, if it's even government promote it with like sales, of if it's agriculturing or if it's hardware or sports, even tourism. We need to know more because it's not a public holiday.
Well, I know it's a day that they would commemorate Assembly Day, and they come to the school and the children are treated. I however think that many persons don't recognize or know the significance of the day, so I think more can be done to educate. But it is appreciated by the students.
I take part in the cadets display at the stadium.
We get treated at school, which is very lovely. It shows that the assembly appreciates us.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Remember, you can send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt, or even visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Davia Chambers, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. And as we go, here's a final look at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex.